The vast emptiness of space held secrets that most civilizations never imagined. On a quiet Tuesday in the Earth's orbital research station, Jay Park adjusted his monitoring screens, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. Nothing seemed unusual until the alien ship first appeared, massive, sleek, and completely indifferent to human existence. The Stellar Confederation vessel, commanded by Captain Curl Vex, approached the solar system's outer regions with calculated precision. They had encountered hundreds of developing civilizations before, and humans seemed no different. Small, technologically primitive, confined to a single planet, just another potential resource to catalog and potentially exploit. Jay watched as the alien ship began scanning Jupiter's moons. Their sensors probed mineral-rich surfaces, mapping extraction points with cold mechanical efficiency. Europa's ice-covered landscape became their first target. What they didn't realize was that every scan, every movement was being meticulously recorded by a network of hidden human monitoring systems. In a nondescript underground facility beneath the Nevada desert, a team of scientists and military strategists had been preparing for this moment for decades. They understood something the aliens did not: humanity's greatest strength was its ability to adapt, to prepare, and to strike when least expected. The alien vessel's crew spoke in their complex language, discussing humans as if they were nothing more than a primitive species unworthy of serious consideration. Captain Vex reviewed initial survey data, noting the planet's potential resources. Rare minerals, water reserves, and strategic planetary positioning made Earth an attractive acquisition. Unbeknownst to the aliens, every transmission was being intercepted and analyzed. Jay Park's team had developed quantum decryption technologies that made breaking alien communication codes look like child's play. They understood the alien language, their intentions, and their technological limitations. As the alien ship continued its survey, it began deploying small extraction drones onto Europa's surface. These mechanical probes started drilling into the moon's icy crust, collecting samples, and sending data back to the main vessel. What they didn't know was that each drone's movement was being tracked, its technological signature mapped and studied. Hai Kim, a strategic military analyst, watched the real-time data with a calm determination. She had spent years preparing contingency plans for exactly this type of scenario. The team around her worked silently, their fingers moving across advanced computing systems that looked more like art than technology. The aliens believed they were invisible, undetected. They believed humans were unaware of their presence. But every scan, every movement was being recorded, analyzed, and integrated into a complex defense strategy that had been years in the making. Captain Vex's confidence was palpable. His civilization had conquered and controlled numerous star systems. Humans were just another potential resource, another civilization to be cataloged and potentially subjugated. He reviewed the initial survey reports, seeing nothing but opportunity. What he didn't understand was the human capacity for innovation. While the alien technology was advanced, human creativity and adaptability were about to demonstrate why Earth would never be a simple conquest. As the alien extraction drones continued their work, something unexpected began to happen. Subtle technological countermeasures were being deployed. Small disruptions in their communication systems, minor interference with their scanning equipment, nothing dramatic, but enough to suggest that humans were far more aware than the aliens suspected. Jay Park allowed himself a small smile. The first phase of their plan was already in motion. The aliens would soon learn that humans were not just another primitive species to be easily conquered. They were a sleeping technological giant, waiting for the right moment to demonstrate their true potential. The alien ship continued its survey, completely unaware that its every move was being watched, analyzed, and prepared for. The game of technological chess had begun, and humanity was about to make its first unexpected move. In the cold emptiness of space, the stage was being set for a confrontation that would change galactic history forever. The aliens thought they were the hunters. They were about to discover they might very well be the hunted. Deep within the underground research complex, Jay Park stood before a massive holographic display that flickered with complex technological schematics. The room hummed with electrical energy, filled with scientists and engineers who had dedicated their lives to a single, critical mission: preparing Earth's ultimate defense mechanism. Hai Kim walked in, her military uniform crisp and her eyes focused. She carried a data drive that represented years of secret research, the blueprint for what would become known as the Stardestroyer. The device wasn't just a weapon, it was humanity's insurance policy against potential alien threats. The team had spent decades studying recovered alien technology fragments. Some were from crashed probes, others from mysterious encounters that governments had kept hidden from public knowledge. Each piece was like a puzzle, and they were slowly putting together a picture of technological possibility that defied current scientific understanding. Sung Wong, the lead quantum physicist, explained the core concept. The Stardestroyer would use quantum singularity technology, a method of creating localized spacetime disruptions that could literally tear apart entire fleet formations. It wasn't just about destruction, it was about sending a message that humans were not to be underestimated. Their primary challenge was energy generation. Traditional power sources were insufficient for the immense power requirements. They developed a revolutionary quantum fold drive system that could extract energy directly from quantum vacuum fluctuations. It was like creating something from nothing, a concept that would have seemed impossible just decades earlier. The facility was a maze of advanced laboratories. In one room, engineers tested miniature quantum disruption prototypes. In another, computer scientists developed complex AI systems that could predict and counter alien technological responses. Every system was designed with multiple redundancies, ensuring that no single point of failure could compromise their defense. Jay noticed how each team member worked with a sense of silent determination. They weren't just scientists and engineers, they were guardians of human potential. The weight of their responsibility was visible in their focused expressions and careful movements. The Stardestroyer's design incorporated multiple innovative technologies. Its outer shell used adaptive metamaterials that could change molecular structure instantaneously, making traditional weapons virtually useless. Defensive systems were integrated at quantum levels, capable of predicting and neutralizing threats before they could even be launched. Hai Kim reviewed the latest simulation results. The prototype had successfully destroyed a simulated alien fleet formation in less than 0.03 seconds. More impressive was how it did so without generating traditional explosive signatures. It would appear as if the fleet simply ceased to exist, a psychological weapon as much as a physical one. Sung Wong's team had also developed an advanced communication jamming system. It wasn't just about blocking signals, they could actually send false information that would completely disorient any alien communication networks. Misinformation became a strategic weapon. The researchers worked in shifts, their dedication never wavering. Some had families who had no idea about the real nature of their work. Others were single, entirely devoted to this secret project. They understood that their work could potentially save humanity from extinction. Funding came from hidden government budgets and private technology investments. No single source could trace the complete development of the Stardestroyer. It was a distributed effort, with pieces of the technology developed in different parts of the world, then carefully assembled in this underground complex. As days turned into months, and months into years, the Stardestroyer transformed from a theoretical concept to a practical reality. Each test brought them closer to their goal, a weapon that could protect humanity from any potential extraterrestrial threat. Jay Park looked at the final schematic. What started as a defensive concept had become something more, a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and the unbreakable spirit of a species that refused to be conquered. The aliens would soon learn that underestimating humans was the biggest mistake they could ever make. The room continued to hum with potential energy, a quiet symphony of technological innovation that would soon change the course of galactic history. The research outpost on Europa never stood a chance. Alien extraction drones moved methodically across the icy surface, their mechanical arms drilling and collecting samples with cold efficiency. Inside the small human research station, scientists watched in helpless anger as their colleagues were systematically eliminated. Hai Kim received the transmission at exactly 0247 hours. The Europa outpost's final message was brief but devastating: complete destruction imminent. 17 researchers, including 3 children of personnel who had been visiting their parents, were about to become casualties of alien indifference. In the hidden lunar base, the Stardestroyer hummed to life. Its quantum fold drive began generating massive energy signatures that would have been invisible to traditional scanning technologies. J. Park's hands moved across the control systems, his fingers dancing with surgical precision. Targeting systems online, Sung Wong announced, his voice calm and steady. The massive weapon began its preparation, quantum disruption fields building up in layers of impossible complexity. Each system checked and rechecked, ensuring absolute precision. Captain Curl Vex of the Alien Confederation believed the Europa strike was a simple resource extraction. He didn't realize he had just made the most significant mistake in his species' history. The destruction of the research outpost was more than just a military action, it was a personal challenge to humanity. The Stardestroyer emerged from its concealed position, looking like nothing more than a complex geometric shape of dark metal and impossible angles. Traditional weapons would have seemed primitive compared to its quantum-based technology. It moved without traditional propulsion, folding space around itself in ways that defied conventional physics. Hai Kim's voice was ice-cold when she gave the final command. Target locked. Quantum disruption sequence initiated. The first strike was silent. No traditional explosion, no massive energy burst. Instead, the alien fleet's primary staging point simply disappeared. Molecular structures collapsed, quantum bonds were instantly severed, and an entire military installation was erased from existence in less than a fraction of a second. Communication channels across the galaxy suddenly burst with confusion. Alien civilizations monitoring the region received fragmented transmissions, one moment a massive fleet existed, the next moment complete absence. No debris, no radiation signatures, nothing. J. Park watched the quantum readouts. The Stardestroyer had performed perfectly. Its first strike was a message humanity was not just another primitive species to be conquered or ignored. They were a force that could eliminate entire fleet formations without leaving a trace. The psychological impact was instantaneous. Alien communication networks began to panic. How could an entire staging point simply vanish? What technology could achieve such complete destruction? The questions raced faster than light across communication networks. Sung Wong began broadcasting a simple message on all known alien frequencies. No threats, no declarations of war, just a silent transmission showing coordinates of the destroyed fleet, followed by Earth's stellar address. It was a challenge. A warning. A promise. Captain Vex's ship received the first reports of destruction. His scientific teams couldn't explain the complete elimination of their primary staging point. Quantum scanners showed nothing, no residual energy, no explosion signatures, nothing to indicate what had happened. The Stardestroyer returned to its hidden position, its mission complete. One strike. 17 human lives avenged. An entire alien confederation left in complete technological shock. Hai Kim allowed herself a small smile. The first message had been sent. Humanity would not be a silent victim. They would be a force to be recognized, respected, and feared. In the cold silence of space, a new era of galactic politics had just begun. The aliens had made a critical mistake, they had awakened a sleeping technological giant. And humanity was just getting started. The Stardestroyer powered down, waiting silently for its next mission. The galaxy would never be the same again. News traveled faster than light across the galactic communication networks. The complete erasure of the Stellar Confederation's primary staging point became the most discussed event in recent interstellar history. Species that had once looked down on humanity now trembled at the mere mention of Earth. Sung Wong managed the strategic information broadcast with calculated precision. Each transmission was carefully designed to maximize psychological impact. The message was simple: humans were not to be underestimated. Alien civilizations that had previously considered Earth a primitive planet now saw it as a potential existential threat. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from hundreds of star systems gathered, their holographic projections filling a massive circular chamber. Whispers turned into discussions, discussions into debates, and debates into pure panic. How could a species confined to a single planet develop such advanced technology? Intercepted alien communications revealed deep fear. Some species suggested immediate total war against Earth. Others recommended complete isolation. A few more pragmatic civilizations proposed diplomatic approaches. But underneath every conversation ran a single thread of terror: humans had demonstrated capabilities beyond anything previously known. Scientific teams across multiple star systems began analyzing the limited data from the fleet's destruction. Quantum physicists worked around the clock, trying to understand the technology that could eliminate an entire military installation without leaving a trace. Their research yielded nothing. The technology was completely beyond current understanding. Trade routes that previously crossed near human-controlled space now took massive detours. Merchant vessels that once confidently traveled through solar systems now avoided Earth's region entirely. The economic impact was immediate and profound. Jay Park watched these developments from the underground research facility. Each report, each transmission confirmed what his team had always known: human potential was limitless. The Stardestroyer was not just a weapon, it was a statement of human technological capability. Alien diplomatic missions that had previously planned aggressive expansions now reconsidered their strategies. The Xyloxian Confederation, which had been the primary aggressor, found itself completely paralyzed. Their military strategies, developed over thousands of years, suddenly seemed obsolete. Hai Kim began preparing the next phase of their strategic response. The goal was not conquest, but respect. Humans wanted to be recognized as a serious galactic civilization, not as conquerors. Each communication was carefully crafted to demonstrate technological superiority while showing a willingness for peaceful interaction. Intelligence reports suggested that some alien civilizations were studying human history, trying to understand how such a seemingly young species could develop such advanced technology. They discovered a pattern of human innovation, adaptability, and unexpected problem-solving that defied traditional technological progression. The psychological warfare was subtle but effective. Humans didn't need to attack again. The single demonstration of the Stardestroyer's capabilities was enough to change galactic dynamics. Fear became a more powerful weapon than any physical technology. Smaller alien civilizations that had been oppressed by larger confederations saw hope in humanity's actions. If a single species could stand up to established galactic powers, perhaps they could resist oppression as well. Communication channels began receiving unusual messages. Some were diplomatic inquiries, others were thinly veiled requests for technological exchange. Humans had become the most discussed topic in galactic communication networks. Sun Quan monitored these transmissions, understanding their deeper significance. This was more than a military victory. This was a complete restructuring of galactic power dynamics. Humanity had moved from being an unknown species to a potential galactic power overnight. The Stardestroyer remained in its hidden position, a silent guardian. Its very existence was now a legend, a whispered threat that made even the most aggressive alien civilizations reconsider their stance. As star systems discussed, debated, and feared, one thing became clear: humans were no longer just another developing species. They were a force to be recognized, respected, and potentially allied with. The galaxy had changed. And humanity was just beginning to show its true potential. The diplomatic shuttle arrived with an unprecedented level of caution. Captain Kurl Vex, once a confident military leader, now looked like a nervous representative seeking mercy. His species had never before approached another civilization with such vulnerability. Jay Park and Hai Kim waited in a neutral meeting facility located in international waters. The room was deliberately designed to be neither threatening nor submissive, a perfect representation of humanity's new galactic stance. Sophisticated translation systems hummed quietly, ready to convert every nuanced communication. The alien delegation carried no weapons. Their body language spoke volumes about their fear and respect. They had traveled millions of light years, knowing that humanity could destroy them with a simple technological signal if they showed any aggressive intentions. "We seek peaceful negotiations," Kurl Vex began, his translator rendering his complex language into clear, simple English. His species had realized that humans were not interested in conquest, but in establishing fair interstellar relationships. Hai Kim listened carefully. She understood that this moment would define humanity's future in the galactic community. The Stardestroyer remained their silent guardian, a technological promise that backed every diplomatic word. The negotiation wasn't about punishment or revenge. It was about establishing new rules of engagement. Humans wanted fair trade, mutual technological exchange, and respect. They weren't looking to dominate, just to ensure their own safety and potential for growth. Sung Wong managed the communication protocols. Every word was recorded, every gesture analyzed. The alien delegation knew they were under constant, sophisticated monitoring. Their previous assumptions about human capabilities had been completely shattered. Trade discussions began with unexpected complexity. Humans wanted access to rare mineral resources, advanced scientific research, and protection guarantees. The aliens wanted technology transfer limitations and assurances against future military actions. J. Park presented a revolutionary proposal. Instead of traditional territorial claims, he suggested creating neutral scientific research zones where multiple species could collaborate. It was a concept so advanced that the alien delegation seemed momentarily confused. The Stardestroyer's existence remained an unspoken backdrop to every conversation. No direct mentions were made, but its potential hung in the air like an invisible threat. The aliens understood that humanity could destroy them at any moment, yet chose diplomatic engagement. Economic models were discussed. Humans proposed a galactic trading system that would benefit smaller, less technologically advanced civilizations. It was an approach so different from traditional imperial expansion that it caught the aliens completely off guard. Cultural exchange became a key point of discussion. Humans weren't just offering technological interaction, but genuine curiosity about other civilizations. The aliens realized they were dealing with a species that saw potential cooperation instead of pure conquest. Communication channels that were previously filled with fear now began transmitting hope. Other alien civilizations watched these negotiations, understanding that humanity represented a new model of galactic interaction. The meeting lasted 3 standard Earth days. Each hour revealed more about human thinking: adaptive, innovative, and surprisingly compassionate. The aliens had expected a vengeful species. Instead, they found strategic thinkers interested in mutual progress. As negotiations concluded, something unprecedented happened. The alien delegation requested continued diplomatic channels. They wanted to understand how a species could develop such advanced technology and still maintain such a balanced approach to potential conflict. Hai Kim's final statement captured the essence of human intention: we are not here to conquer. We are here to coexist, learn, and grow together. The diplomatic shuttle departed carrying not just agreements, but a fundamentally transformed understanding of humanity. The Stardestroyer remained in its hidden position, a silent guardian of a new era of galactic diplomacy. The galaxy had changed. And humanity had written its first chapter in the book of interstellar relations, not with weapons, but with wisdom. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of this diplomatic encounter?